It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever at the Butterfly Palace. Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, it's Wednesday. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great week so far. I think our week is okay so far, so we'll take okay. Okay is a good week.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Here's a look at the news on this Wednesday. It's going to be a pretty wild day of weather. Worth keeping your eye on the sky. We're going to see basically all four seasons in a day, only in the Ozarks. Get ready for some big wind gusts around 50 miles per hour at times. And that strong wind is blowing in some much colder air and maybe some storms to boot. So there's a little tease for you to tell you to watch Wake Up Weather with Abby Dyer, the real meteorologist for what we can expect. But truly, keep your eye on the sky today. Major crimes were down in 2023 in Springfield. The police department's annual crime report shows overall reported crime dropped by about 9.5% last year compared to 2022. More specifically, theft, fraud, vandalism, and other property crimes were down almost 16%. Violent crimes, including aggravated assault, kidnapping, and rape, were down by 1%. But simple assaults were up by 16%. So overdoses and fatalities from drug use were also down compared to 2022.
Okay, well, better than up, that's for sure.
The good, the bad, the ugly, right? There's a little bit of everything in that crime report.
The city of Springfield is considering a special tax district in the new shopping center area on Sunshine at West Bypass. That area is where the new Target store is going in. You know that. If the city council approves the Community Improvement District tax, or CID, it would allow developers to create revenue to cover construction costs. The Sunshine Town Center CID is what it would be called, would then be able to impose a sales and use tax of up to 1% on all retail sales made within that center. Then the money collected would reimburse the developer to build all the needed roads within that small district. So that's being considered.
And honestly, that's a draw for developers because they can recoup some of their costs to put it in. So my guess would be that it probably will get signed off on.
And the city doesn't have to pay the upfront road costs, construction costs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We've seen that done elsewhere and it has often been successful. So there you go.
Meanwhile, COVID money still going out. The Greene County Commission is making its way through some $57 million in federal dollars. It's all part of the American Rescue Act that, of course, was the result of COVID, which we're still giving away. In its latest round, commissioners gave out $547,000 to multiple local businesses, restaurants that struggled during the pandemic and the shutdowns. For this round, Scramblers on Republic Road got the most money at about $20,000. Velocinos, Buckingham's, and Known as Italian Cafe are among the list of other recipients, so a lot of eateries. Greene County now we've whittled the $57 million down to just less than $4 million to hand out by the end of this year. So I feel like they can do it.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's been so long that they're still giving it away.
It is.
It seems like it would have been more beneficial right at the outset for those businesses, but maybe not. There's a reason that I don't own a business. So
some of them went out of business because they couldn't, it just didn't work during COVID. And so the ones that made it are going to get kind of reimbursed for the problem period. But if you didn't make it, you're just out of luck.
All right. Republic and Clever are both about to have better internet. Cable America Corp, which has 1 million customers across 24 states, just announced $3.3 million worth of upgrades for Clever and Republic. The work should be finished by the end of the year. The company says it intends to enhance connectivity for both residential and business customers. Well, the stolen cat is back at the Humane Society in Springfield. You may remember workers put out the all call after a woman walked into the building last Saturday, stole a cat carrier and a cat named Dime, and then walked out the front door. The Humane Society says Dime is in good condition and back in their care now. They thanked Greene County deputies and the Springfield community for the help in finding Dime.
Yeah, they had surveillance pictures and video and everything of the.
I know. I saw it. You know what's really interesting is you cannot steal. That's a given. But I actually was a bit surprised that they really were like super intent on finding the cat, because
Isn't the goal to get cats homes?
yeah. And this lady, I mean, if she would have just like, it makes me wonder, if she would have just asked and said, hey, I can't afford the adoption fee, which is like $10, I think, for a cat. Can I just have the cat? Like, I feel like they might have been like, you know what? Yeah.
Well,
thanks for asking.
Yeah, I don't know what all is involved in checking people out before they give away pets. But yeah, I was a little surprised at their reaction. But then I thought about it. And I was like, well, you know what? Doggone it. That's their stuff. And you can't just have people walking in and stealing stuff.
True. I know.
So, and it was also
But I was a little bit like, wow, okay. I duly noted. Do not go steal
I was wondering if that was like the office pet cat or something that hangs around the front of the office.
Well, he has a name. So, I mean,
cat.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have a name, but this one is like apparently very beloved. So
Dime.
Is it just me? I don't know. You're looking for
names their cat Dime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a catchy name.
The only thing is like, he's not worth a dime. Like, that's what I was thinking is like, do they think the cat is not worth a dime? You know what I mean? Like, that's when I heard the cat's name, I was like, is it really beloved, or I don't know. I feel like it could go either way with that kind of a name.
Well, it could be ironic too, because they could say that, and then they're caring for the cat or whoever owned it.
Yeah.
Anyway, the new Wilson Logistics Arena, we didn't solve that at all. At the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds is coming in with a bang. That's for sure. It's already held several big events, including some sellouts. So lots of people headed out there. And it's estimated now that its economic impact could be $60 million in its first year of operation, which is this year. That's cool. It opened on January 11th. And of course, we'll be home to the Ozarks Lunkers Arena League football team, whose season begins in June. So that'll be fun. And Bass Pro Shops is amending its plans for a new location in Texas, changing towns, actually. It will open that store in Odessa instead of Midland, where it had been previously announced that it would be opening a store. The Odessa store will be bigger than the one that was planned in Midland. It should be store 172 for Bass Pro Shops when it opens, assuming they don't have anything else that's about ready to open here soon.
Yeah. I think those towns are close too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
At least the television market.
Same metropolitan area, yeah.
Yeah, the Midland Odessa TV market. Did you apply there right out of college?
I did not.
I sure did.
I did not. I got a job in Las Vegas right out of college, so.
Yeah, it's that voice.
I didn't have to go to that tiny little market.
One of a kind.
I ended up there on my second job, though.
I had to go to a tiny little market. Could have been Midland, Odessa. In fact, I had an offer there, but instead I chose Sherman, Texas.
And look at you.
I could have also been in Tyler, Texas, or in San Angelo.
Yuma, Arizona.
I had lots of offers in Texas because I was trying to go south.
Yeah, it's where it's warm.
Yep. Lots of offers there, all of them in tiny little markets, and Sherman was where I landed.
Okay. I could have been an actor, but I wound up here. Dirty laundry.
Seinfeld?
Dirty laundry.
Dirty laundry. Darn it.
Yeah. All right. Read.
Me? Oh, yes. This is fun. I was discussing this yesterday with a friend. If you love the PBS show Antiques Roadshow, which is, it's kind of a niche audience, but I'm telling you, if you stumble across the show on accident, you're going to watch it So whether you're a fan or not, you're kind
That's
of a
true.
fan
That's
because
true.
it's one of those shows. So get ready. They are coming to Bentonville, Arkansas. They're going to be at the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art
Yeah.
in Bentonville on May 14th. So they're going to be spending their day telling people whether their old stuff is worth anything or if it's just a hunk of junk. You can enter a contest for free tickets on the Antiques Roadshow website. And then they will give like a couple of items for, they'll go over it to let you know if it's actually worth anything or not.
Appraisal,
an appraisal, as it were. If only there were a word for that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
That's everybody's dream, is to have like some old thing that used to be in their grandma's house, and it's not that attractive, but it's a keepsake because you remember it from grandma's house, to take that over there and they'd be like, you know what? This is actually worth $600,000 if you were to sell it. You're like, sold. Who wants to buy this thing?
No,
I can remember grandma in other ways.
No, I would say sold because I'm not sentimental. You would cry tears. You would worry about like, oh, this had such value to me as a young boy. I am not sentimental at all. I spoke at a women's conference this past weekend and there was like this icebreaker and I had to like say something that was sentimental to me. And I was like, my husband is sentimental. Like he's the only thing I care to keep hold of. That's old, everything else is, I don't know. I didn't have a good answer.
That was good. I didn't see that coming, but
I didn't see it coming either, to be honest with you. I didn't plan that. I see what I did there though. I couldn't think of anything else, but I was like, if Ethan were playing this game, he'd have a wine glass from his 1990 high school prom that says "Seize the Day" or something.
We've got tonight.
You guys, he actually has a wine glass in our basement.
I don't know that it's wine. We were in high school. We weren't allowed to drink
champagne,
wine.
Whatever. I don't know. Champagne? Is that what it's called?
It's a lovely.
He has one. It's from
goblet.
1990. It says, what does it say? Remember the night?
We've got tonight.
We've got tonight.
That was the theme.
He held on to it. What exactly are we going to do with that?
I tell you what I did with it. I got it out and I had eggnog in it a couple of years ago. And everybody had I posted it on Facebook, and everybody from high school had very fond memories of that goblet. And some of them still had it. Some of them still had it as well. It's a keepsake.
Just so you know, I don't own my wedding dress. I don't. You know what? I gave it to Goodwill because I'm not going to wear it again. I found the one. I don't need the dress. What am I going to do with the dress? Anyway.
That's true. It just takes up space.
Back to Antiques Roadshow. I don't know what I would take to them. My mom offloaded some of my grandma's china on me one time. It's somewhere. I don't know
what I've learned is that nobody wants china.
Don't go to my mom's house ever because you'll leave there with something in your hands. She will be like, "Oh, Ethan, look at this. You should keep this." And so then you come home with a box. It's happened to me more than once.
Well, it's your stuff. That's why it's in. I know.
I have to run out of. I have to run out of her house sometimes. She
wants it out of there.
And
but I've learned. Here's what I've learned in dealing with some estate stuff: is that nobody wants china. Nobody has china anymore. That's something that my parents, because they're older, but a lot of people's grandparents had china, and they had a china cabinet where they displayed their china. And on Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter, they would get out the china and we would all eat on the china. Can't put it in the dishwasher. So you had to hand wash the china. I remember that happening in my house growing up all the time.
I remember my sister.
You can't even put it in the microwave.
Rachel, I've got multiple sisters. So the one I'm closest to in age, she and I registered for the same china for our wedding, even though we lived in 2 different states at the time. We didn't even know it. We registered for the same china. And then I had this thought, what the heck are we doing? Why are we registering for China?
Right.
So then we both went and canceled our registries.
Yeah. What are we going to do with China?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Anyway,
it takes up space.
We digress. Okay. One more story. Let's get on with the show here.
But my point was in saying that you can't sell it. Nobody will buy the china. You just have to give it away.
Yeah.
And then it'll end up that somebody will buy it in a secondhand store and it'll be worth $600,000 and you just gave it away.
Right. Like the Ming Dynasty Bowl. You've heard the story that happened. Google it. All right. Finally, this. And if one TV show, the Antiques Roadshow, is not enough for you, HGTV has a new show as well, focusing on prime real estate at Lake of the Ozarks. It will premiere on Monday, March 11th at 9 p.m. on HGTV. It'll show off some of the nicest homes along the lakeshore. The network calls Lake of the Ozarks the Hamptons of the Midwest, which is funny because if you watched Ozark, the drama, the area was portrayed not as the Hamptons of the Midwest.
It's a little different on the Ozark show on Netflix. If you've seen any of that, we couldn't get through it, but
you go.
It is not the Hamptons of the Midwest in their view. But I think I'm going to record that show because I'd like to watch it. Some of those houses up there on the lake are unbelievable. It's such a pretty spot.
You sounded like Lisa Harper when you said that.
Okay.
Do you know who she is?
I do. Nobody else does.
Well, she sometimes says unbelievable.
Well, those houses are. When I'm up there, I just
dramatic pause. It was good.
I just look at the houses up there because they are unbelievable. And it's such beautiful property because you can get there as opposed to Table Rock Lake. You can get right down there on the water. You can live, so they can cut down all the trees, and you've got it's the whole thing. I think I like the way Lake of the Ozarks or Table Rock does it better with maintaining the trees. Yeah. But at any rate, they are really nice houses, and you can see inside them on that HGTV show.
I'm in. Sold.
March 11th.
Record it. We'll watch it. It'll be great.
Okay.
Date night.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a really long podcast, and we hope that you stayed tuned and enjoyed it as much as we did. And
Probably
if you
more.
are holding on to your grandmother's china, God bless you. You really are a saint.
And good luck down in Bentonville getting rid of it.
Yeah. May 14th. Check it out. All right. That's it. Have a great Wednesday.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Wednesday. I would love to give you a warm welcome to the day, but I'm not giving you a warm welcome to the day because temperatures are feeling like the low teens across the Ozarks as of 5 a.m. There's even a bit of wintry weather on the radar this morning north of I-44. It is not nice out there. A powerful cold front moved through the Ozarks. We had a few stray storms in the eastern Ozarks late last night. The storms are now well to our east, but what we're waking up to is bitter cold. Wind chill values are ridiculous. I mean, these numbers are truly insane. We had 80s yesterday, records set all across the Ozarks for high temperatures. And now we've got feels like temperatures in the low teens. It's possible that they fall to the low single digits as we head closer to the 8 a.m. hour. And then we work our way back up later this afternoon. Wind chill values, though, just brutal today. We have actual temperatures that are in the low 20s this morning. I'm looking at a high temperature of about 42, but it will never feel that good. Wind chill values are going to stay in the 20s and 30s pretty much all day long. So grab the parka. Again, I hope you didn't pack it away the last couple of days when we've had this nice warm weather because, boy, you need it today. It's a cold one out across the Ozarks. Back to winter. It's still February. We're being reminded of that. The winds are from the northwest this morning. Bitter cold expected to persist through the rest of the day today. The overall setup across the country shows that cold front that produced some severe weather east of our area is now marching through the Ohio River Valley. It's going to impact the East Coast here as we head into the middle of the week. And we are talking about that bringing some heavy rain, some severe storms with it, as well as some winter weather. Mixed precipitation expected all the way from the Ohio River Valley, all the way up through portions of the Northeast, and then the Southeast is getting some rainfall out of this same storm system. Also, what this front is doing, I've been telling you about this really widespread area of above average temps. Yeah, we've knocked those completely out of here. We are seeing everyone experience a cool down today and even some light winter precip on the radar this morning. Not expecting any impacts from that simply because we were in the 80s yesterday afternoon. We're not going to see any roadway impacts, but bundle up today. That's the big headline for you on this Wednesday. This is the coldest day of the week, by the way. It does get better as we head into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll see a really significant increase in temperatures each and every day. It's going to be nice again by the weekend. In fact, I think we could be back in the 70s by Saturday. This is like whiplash in this forecast. With today being the bottom of the roller coaster ride, we start to increase a little bit and head uphill as we head into the second half of the work week. So a high temperature today in Springfield, I'm going 42 degrees. It's going to be windy. We will see the sunshine come back out, but don't be fooled by the sun. It's awful outside, just biting cold. We do have temperatures tonight that are also going to be incredibly cold, well below freezing. So think about the pets tonight. We're back into the mid-20s. And then as we move into Thursday, we'll be back into the 50s for afternoon highs. Partly sunny across the area on Thursday. By the time we get to Thursday night, there's a small chance that we see a bit of shower activity. I don't think it's anything more than that. Not expecting any thunderstorms, but high temperatures, they climb to near 60 again by Friday. And as I mentioned, I think by Saturday, we're back in the 70s. And the weekend actually looks really lovely. Around the country, winter storms are making headlines. I told you about those marching on to the East Coast and much of the Northeast, preparing for some winter weather. We've got above normal temperatures across the Midwest that have been wiped away by this cold front. We are now experiencing a cool down, and it is much colder than average for this time of the year. We've also got heavy rain and snow expected again for the West Coast. That happens again later this week. We're talking the Thursday, Friday timeline. So those are things that are coming our way across the Ozarks and across the national weather headlines here in the next couple of days. All right, it's the time you've been waiting for, the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question for the day. This is the question that I left you with yesterday. We'll revisit it. Most major airlines frown on doing what on board a flight? The options that I gave you were A, painting nails, B, crocheting or knitting, C, taking medication, or D, sleeping too long. You may think it's crocheting or knitting, but it's not. If you can get the needles through, depending on the needles, they have different specs for getting those through the TSA. It's actually A, painting your nails. They frown on painting your nails. The knitting needle is oftentimes considered a weapon, so you can't even get those on board the flight. Painting your nails, not technically illegal. I don't think they can arrest you for that or kick you off the flight because they let you through TSA with the nail polish bottle. That can actually come in your carry-on bag as you move through security. Nail polish is allowed as long as it hits that 3.4 ounces or less. But it's actually the act of painting on the plane that is what they call frowned upon. And most flight attendants and flight crews will stop you from doing this. The issue is the recirculated air within the airplane. So they close the door and, all of the air just gets recirculated within the plane out those little blowers. Well, nail polish, a horrible scent, and it's highly flammable. So while they don't allow things to cause flames on flights, painting your nails is heavily discouraged. You will likely be stopped by a flight attendant. Also, even just painting your nails, I think in the house makes an entire room smell. So don't do that to your other passengers. However, you can fly with nail polish. You just got to paint. I guess you could do it in the airport. It's a better space, preferably outdoors or in your own personal space because it stinks and you'll probably get stopped for doing it. All right, here's your Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather question that I have for you for tomorrow, Leap Day. What are Leap Day babies called? Babies that are born on February 29th. There's a name for them. What do you think it is? Do you think it is A, dumplings, B, Cupies, C, leaplings, or D, pumpkins? What do you think you call those Leap Day babies? Do you know one? Are you one? It's about to be your birthday tomorrow. I know you got to wait too long for these to come up. Let me know your guess. No Googling. That takes all the fun out of it. But you can win a $20 gift card to Scooter's Coffee every single day here on Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Head on over to the website and enter our contest there. Thank you so much to Rescue Towing and Scooter's Coffee for sponsoring Wake Up Weather. And thank you for listening this morning. I hope everybody bundles up and has an enjoyable day despite the cold and the wind. It gets better. I promise. We're back to 60 on Friday, 70 returning for Saturday. We just got to get through the cold together early today. Have a fantastic one.